What's going on, family? Man, I hope you guys are having an absolutely awesome day. Yeah, we're back, man. We're back at Illinois Motors, and we got another treat for you guys, man. Today, the last video, we had an opportunity to walk around and kind of look at what's on the showroom floor. Because we had such a beautiful day, I think it's a good time to go out for a ride. Brother Tim, what's up, bro?
So I called you about this a week ago, I think, a week.
Yeah.
And we did the building tour anyway because the weather sucked. I wanted to pull this out so bad because I have really never seen many of these at all.
There's not a lot out there.
And I think this makes sense for me to introduce it because of my history with the company.
There you go.
With owning a Maserati
there
product.
There you go. Y'all remember Tim had the
Quattroporte GTS.
We took it for a little ride.
Yeah, that was one of my all-time favorite cars, and if I ever get in the position to have multiple cars again, it's going back in the garage.
There you go.
Genuinely.
There you go.
So, what do you think?
First of all, it looks great. I love the lines on this car.
And you know what this is, right?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, we did a quick walk behind it, and we saw that it's a GTS, and it has that L word on it. Can they get around?
I think they're just going to pull up right there.
Got it.
So, but
we saw the GTS behind it.
Yeah.
We also saw that it had that L word.
Levante.
It's a Levante.
But more importantly, the GTS logo, these really don't exist. Like, they're not really like super common or popular. Most people don't even know this exists, period.
Really?
So most people don't know. So let's take a step back to my car.
Okay.
Right? The Quattroporte GTS had a 4.7 liter cross-plane crank version of a Ferrari V8.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Not found in any Ferrari model, but the engine was converted to a Maserati kind of bespoke-ish engine.
Correct.
This is the same story with a 488 engine. This is a 488 engine, or as you might call it, like a California T engine.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
With a cross-plane crankshaft, just like the 4.7 in my car, but it's twin turbo with a cross-plane crank.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was actually, let's get a good look at it, actually.
Oh my God, I love this rear spoiler, man.
Yeah.
Sheesh. I love the stance. Man.
Where are we at? I don't remember. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yes, very cool, actually.
And Maserati, as always, they just do like such a cool engine bay. Like their engine covers, like their intake manifold stuff, they just look so unique.
It looks great under the hood of this car, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I like this a lot. I mean, this man looks better than a BMW. I'm not gonna hold you. This looks way better, at least my car.
Yeah.
This looks really good.
So this is 500, I think it's 540 or 550 horsepower.
Very close,
so
comparable.
And it's like 530 torque, so kind of evens itself out.
Man.
But the really interesting thing is, to me, is that most people expect a V6 under the hood of this car.
I would have
You get the full V8. So.
And a twin turbo V8. We're putting a little forced air behind the game here, and this thing is really, really nice, bro.
Yeah. So it's pretty neat.
I say we go for a ride.
Yeah, let's go for a rip.
Let's go for a rip.
Sheesh. So we just figured out how to turn the brightness up on the dash. I think that is so perfectly Maserati to capture that, because they just do things differently, don't they?
Yeah. So it was quite. And man, I don't know if this has been picked up by the mics.
Yeah, I hope so.
The exhaust sounds amazing in this car. Like, for real, it sounds really, really good.
I gotta tell you, even Phil admitted, he's like, this would probably be the perfect SUV if it had like an exhaust as loud as my Quattroporte.
Yeah, but that's also what, adding the exhaust. If it factory, if they add a better exhaust, this thing would be through the roof.
Yeah,
right?
and I think for a turbo V8, this probably is as close as it gets to the best stock.
Good Lord. It sounds really good. Like, I have to be in sport mode to get a better sounding exhaust out of my car, out of the X5M, and it's still not this nice.
It just sounds like
it sounds really
great,
good, man.
And
oh
like,
my
even
God.
with sport mode off, like, it just turns into like a nice
cruiser,
gentle, quiet. It's pretty comfortable in here, right?
Very comfortable,
and it's very
in here.
quiet.
Yeah,
it's
that, you know what? That's funny, because when we're talking, I was about to say that, right? When you're telling that story about Phil, how quiet it is in this car.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Even though we can hear the murmur of the exhaust, it is so crazy quiet. It blows my mind.
Yeah,
absolutely
100%.
Blows my mind. So another thing is how nice it is on the inside of here. This thing has.
So this is an option. They call it 3D carbon fiber, and it's just cool. It's a very like super unique looking. Like,
it is.
You know, it reminds me of my Titan Tex interior trim that was kind of. It looked like carbon, but it was a titanium weave fiber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Maserati's always done very interesting, weave patterns for carbon and all kinds of stuff. They've always had like crazy tinted colors on like the early Maserati coupes and stuff. And I gotta say, for most people saying these are just, beefed up Chryslers with Italian leather, I'm not really getting that vibe in here. I'm just not.
No.
Like,
I'm not. Because we're getting, there's some audible things that are happening from the exhaust. That's safety system.
how very Italian was that?
Very.
Hey, stop that.
I'm about to say the same thing.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop the car.
Oh my God. It'll be different.
We weren't even close.
It would be different if I never had that experience, but I actually had that Italian experience, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
We're getting the full Maserati experience.
Full Maserati experience, guys. Full roof. Oh, let me talk about this. So it's a 3D weave. When I got in and when I first looked at it, I thought it was just dry carbon that you could tell.
Yeah.
It is not like the high gloss that you see like on aerial on the outside of a car, right?
Yeah,
and so
it doesn't have a clear over it.
No, it doesn't have a clear over it, but it's very textured. And I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it is very, very textured. So you feel the weave, you don't have a coating on the top of it.
Yeah, and these can be optioned up to the like holy hell in price.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking just ridiculous. And I don't remember, I have to look up what the base price of this when we get back. That's before options. Oh man, these cars could get so expensive. And it's crazy that there's one more trim level above this.
Really?
It's called the Trofeo.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the Trofeo.
The GTS with the, look at the 4GT.
Oh my God, that's the 4GT. Oh, that's the one that the guys were talking about.
Oh my God.
They got a 4GT.
I gotta go this way, guys.
Yeah, we have to.
Look at this. I'm gonna go real slow here, folks. Eesh. Holy moly.
That thing is gorgeous. Dude. I think the guys at the shop, they saw that car.
Really?
They told me that they saw that car. And I was telling them if I had to choose between the 4GT and the Viper, that GTS.
Oh, the 4GT, come on.
If not just for because I've never driven the 4GT, if not just for the dollar figure that comes behind it, I would drive that car for free.
Without a doubt. I think you can basically drive them for free
Yeah.
at this point with the way they've appreciated. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna crack the rear windows a little bit, see if we can get some more. Oh, we got sport mode on now. Valves are open. So just a little roll in.
Oh, that's the part, man. That's the part right there. So there's another part about this car that's not just sound.
Yeah, it's a lot of giddy up. 500, like 540, 550. I don't remember the exact number.
I'll flash it on the screen.
Oh, the
downshot, the downshifts are incredible.
Got one more. For a turbo V8, I mean, man, does it sound great.
It sounds really good.
And in lower gears, man.
Yes, sir.
It squats so hard.
Yes, sir. This thing.
Oh, wow.
And the shifts are tight.
Yeah, they're great. And industry's greatest transmission, I think, ever, in my opinion. You got a lot of straight line guys that are going to tell you the 10-speed from General Motors or Ford is the GOAT. I think it's a Matt Farah point where he says you drive for show, putt for dough.
Yeah.
If you can't putt, what do you do in golfing, right?
Yeah, very good point.
If you can't downshift as fast as your upshift, there's no point.
There's no point.
And
no, that's
the
a good point.
8-speed transmission, the ZF8, is the all-time great, in my opinion. Yeah. That's just for me.
It crosses so many different platforms. The same transmission that's in the X5M, and I love that thing. It's snappy. It gets and go. The downshifts are awesome. They're fast. I love the notes that comes out of downshifting.
And the cornering abilities. Whoa.
Wow, that's not bad. Not bad.
Just trying to make the light, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, I think
not
it's your
bad.
turn. I think it's your turn.
And I'm ready.
You ready? All right. Time to go. Back to the Levante from the other perspective.
So just right off the bat, guys, we're in sport mode. It is very peppy. We're in sport automatic. The steering wheel feels perfect. Just the downshifts from this.
Watch out. Oh, yeah.
I see. The way I'm getting in front of that Kia.
No,
not in this. Just the downshifts on their own sounds amazing. That part, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man.
It's flashing every time I'm going too fast.
Oh, that's the speed limit warning.
Yeah. This car is, so before jumping in the seat, Tim and I would just kind of talk about how much we like this car.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was telling him is how much I like it just from that seat.
Yeah.
It's amazing how nice the car feels.
Mm-hmm. It does not feel like the thing that the internet's going to tell you that it is, which is a Chrysler or whatever. It really does feel like its own product. And I'm really shocked at the quality of the interior in this. Like, it's really, really nice. There is some remnants of Chrysler, like you have the window switches, right?
Yeah.
And you have the Uconnect that's rebranded as Maserati Touch.
Yeah.
But honestly, Uconnect is the best infotainment program.
I love my Uconnect.
Yeah.
I loved it in the Chrysler. I thought it was better than honestly, I thought it was better than what's in the Vet, that's for sure.
Yeah. In my opinion, and I don't know if you share the same, but to me, from what I've experienced, this is probably the best, most intuitive, best to use system.
Very friendly, very user-friendly.
So I think that's way more important that it's a functional system than it's their own system.
Agreed.
And they really did such a great job of, I think, like rebranding it a little bit. I mean, obviously it's still remnants of, what it was before.
No, so one of the things that first came to mind, and I know Show's looking for something else, right? He wants the luxury from an interior perspective, and also he wants the driver experience or performance. The performance piece is important as well, right? He wants to be able to get out and go. He wants to know that he can do rallies. He wants to do other things in the car as opposed to only be, you know, your typical soccer
You want to turn
mom.
right or?
I was going to go that way.
Okay, go ahead.
Kind of do that same route that we go.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot about that. It's been so long since we've done a solid drive, you know. And
we're trying to get back into the rhythm of things.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
People get busy, and that's part of the challenge. I talk about the busyness, but it happens to the best of us. Tim has been busy as well, so we got to, you know, try to find an opportunity where we can get together and actually do some of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the sad part is that every time we end up talking, we talk forever.
Yeah.
As soon as we get on the phone, we start talking. We talk forever. It's like we catching up all the lost time.
Yeah, like usually when you walk into the store, we're talking about all the things we should be saying on camera, and then we're like, okay, let's go. And then we try not to repeat ourselves, and it's like, well,
how do we keep this unique?
Yeah, exactly. So that's been the challenge. I don't know, but overall, your initial impressions of the car are pretty positive.
Very positive. I like this, honestly. And what's interesting is it rivals those things that I like about the BMW.
Really?
It really does. The only thing, I think the Beamer the only difference between this one and the Beamer has a little bit more horsepower.
It's going to be faster.
It's faster.
It's BMW.
And it probably corners a little bit better.
And that just all a little makes bit. Sense.
Other than that, I would not push this out of the bed. Yeah. Honestly. I think it sounds great. It looks great. This thing is...
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Dude, this thing absolutely...
It feels different from over there, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I think the acceleration is like, it's kind of capitalized on the squats.
Yes.
This thing squats.
I just did that. I didn't push the pedal all the way down. No. I was going through the throttle, so... But just to give me perspective.
Yeah, there's something so luxurious about the power delivery, though.
Yes, like, it really is. It's nice. Yeah. It's linear. It's not just, you know... Honestly, I do feel like I feel when the turbos kick in the BMW. And I'm only using from the experience of the twin turbo V8 that I have. I can feel when the turbos kick in. It's not like this. This reminds me of Zeus, whereas I go through the pedal, I'm getting the power all the way through. I'm not getting that boost. It feels like a supercharger.
Right. But it's so funny because GTS means Grand Touring Sport. That's exactly what this feels like.
Exactly. It really does.
And
it really does.
It's so funny that my Sport GTS, which was Sport Grand Touring Sport for some reason, that felt more sport, consistently sport. It could be the daily, but with the sport button on, it was so
rowdy.
So rowdy.
Yeah.
Like
those revs were crazy in that car. The exhaust note out of that car as you cruise through, it was amazing. It sounds so good. It was very Ferrari.
Yeah, it makes me a little sad.
Yeah,
to have
I know, man.
Said goodbye to the car, and it really was not because of the car. Like the car didn't cost me really a whole lot to own. Despite being an 09, despite being a year model that everyone says to stay away from, that car, like, for the amount of mileage I put on it, didn't really cost me that much in terms of repairs and ownership.
No, not for what you had to do. No, it was, in my opinion, I think that it was proof that it was a good purchase, in my opinion. It was proof that it will
go for what you want.
Yeah, it go for what you want, right? And you get it, and you realize that, hey, you know, there is a cost of ownership to every car.
Especially a used Maserati.
Absolutely. It's just not as bad as you think it would be.
Especially if you know where to go. I don't know why you would ever take a car out of warranty to a dealer.
Do not take it back to Maserati.
Don't take it to the dealer. There's only one time I ever went to the dealer for that car, and that was to get a new key.
Yeah, I would do the same.
That's because they're the only guys that can do it.
Yeah.
So,
and the only reason I've taken that BMW to BMW is because it was still within warranty. It just does not make sense. I'd never recommend that to anyone unless you just feel like spending some money.
Yeah.
This thing, it rose a little.
It holds.
It holds. It rose a little more.
Yeah.
Than the BMW.
But we also have a suspension button, so we could actually firm that up. That's sport. Now we didn't have sport suspension on, so now. Oh wow.
Oh, that's
now
different.
There's a difference. Take this turn.
That's quite different. That's quite different.
That's pretty different.
That's impressively different, actually.
Oh, dude, this thing sounds.
It really does.
Wow. And that's seamless shift too.
This is nice. This is a good car.
Oh,
this is a
wow.
very good car. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I get that floorboard on the top end. Oh my God.
wow.
She revs out at 7,000. That was a 5,500 downshift right there, just to give you an idea. Oh my God. Oof.
So, oh, wow.
Ugh.
So again,
It has that grunty thing that happens at the bottom
Yep.
of that downshift
Yep.
also.
it's just like the Quattroporte did.
Yeah.
That Quattroporte had savage downshifts.
Oh my
savage.
God.
And so, interestingly enough, so you remember how I mentioned that this is a 488 engine effectively?
Ooh, Lord, what a turning radius.
Great turning radius, right? Wow. Wow. Dude, this thing rocks. I might need to get some gas.
Yeah.
I might have to get some gas. We're a little low here. Exacerbates the issue.
Oh my God. You know what? We're gonna go that way.
Yeah. What'd you think about that? It sounded so good. I loved the
My face. If my face isn't telling you what,
Yeah.
it sounds amazing.
Oh, they opened that up now?
Yeah, it's open.
Oh, wow.
I've come that way. I can't remember.
I
where
gotta
was
do
coming
rollers on
from.
that thing now. It's probably smooth as butter.
Yeah, it is. It's actually really nice.
Wow.
I had a matter of fact, I had a knucklehead not letting me get over, trying to block me out and coming that way. I was in the BMW.
Yeah.
I was in Pegasus.
Yeah.
Bro, this thing is good, man.
Yeah.
I like this car.
Yeah.
I like this car, man.
There's something about that like Ferrari-esque, like the rumble
Yeah.
for the V8, but then it's followed by the turbos.
Yeah.
And it just sounds excellent. You can lower the ride. You can raise it. What?
You know what that lowering does to a corner?
Oh yeah, yeah. It makes it even better. Yeah. I think sport mode drops the car by default. In terms of
It didn't drop it all the way though.
Yeah.
That feels different.
That feels better.
That feels way
That
different.
feels better. Oh, that little echo from the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Damn, like,
Yeah.
and I had this off,
Yeah.
and it felt like that.
Yeah. Man, this thing, it's tricked out. It's got adaptive suspension, and you can raise and lower the car. You know, it's got like all the stuff that you should expect from a 2019 performance SUV. But yeah, but interestingly enough, as I was saying earlier, the 4.7 was effectively like a bore and stroke version of a Ferrari engine with a different crank.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
This is actually smaller than the V8 that's in the 488
What size is this?
by 0.1 liters.
Are you serious?
This is 3.8 twin turbo, 488's 3.9.
Really?
I don't know why they stepped down in displacement. And
I was about to ask that.
What's up?
I was about to ask that
Yeah,
when
I
you
don't
said
know.
it.
If I had to imagine, it might have something to do with changing the crankshaft. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they realized like it would, if we're running boosts through this engine, it would probably be better to maintain a smaller displacement so you have thicker cylinder walls.
Yeah.
But it still sounds like its own unique engine. It doesn't sound like a 488 engine.
And it could be for the torque side of the house, right? So
That's
like
true,
you said,
yeah.
thicker sidewalls.
You're running
You're running boost
Yeah.
on thicker sidewalls, so you don't stand a chance at hurting the motor
Yeah.
when you're under load.
But that was a
from
backwards
tow
approach
or-
for the Quattroporte, the 4.7,
Yeah.
because they're like, to increase torque on naturally aspirated, you need to increase your displacement.
Right.
So, and that's what they did. But they realized when you're running boost through this engine, that's not really a problem. You don't have to up displacement at all.
Oh my God.
And it might be better off to drop the displacement a little.
Yeah, to give you a little bit more robust, give you a little bit more robust sidewall.
We're just assuming.
That's the only assumption. We don't
I
know.
don't have a
No. But I mean, it makes sense if you think about it, right? Could be all theoretical from our perspective. It's only our opinion. I'm sure the engineers at Ferrari have other things in mind when it came to this car, but Nevertheless, I do not argue with their decision by any means. When I say this is good, it is very good. There's a true driver's experience that comes out of this for me when I describe being able to cruise and have a good time
without those guys.
Without those guys pulling over Liberty. Poor Liberty. And then being able to be a little bit spirited when you want to, right? So these SUVs, these modern day SUVs, twin turbo big motor cars or SUVs, start landing you in a space when you make the decision. If I only had one car, what would it be? You have something that could give you a sporty experience, a cruising experience, people moving experience, utilitarian experience, all in one vehicle. That's what these SUVs start to do for you. This could be that car that lands in somebody's lap as, if I only had to have one vehicle, car, what would it be? Right? This has so many checks in the box.
It's got a gleaming amount of character too. I think there's just like a lot of these SUVs, because they're kind of forced to do all things, jack of all trades, master of some, not all.
Literally.
But this car, it's so funny. It's flawed in a few areas, and like most SUVs, but it's flawed in specific ways that like almost make this probably the most unique or interesting enthusiast SUV choice you could probably make.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm telling you, if you bought a Levante GTS, you're going to be the only guy with a Levante GTS
pulling up
at your meet or at,
coffee.
Yeah, you're going to be the only guy. And the funny thing is everyone's going to think it's a V6 until you open the hood.
Until you open up the hood.
Or if they know what the GTS logo means.
Right. And that's the other part of it. Most people don't see it. They miss that part, right? First thing that comes to mind to me is, okay, they turboed a V6 and threw it in this car. No, this is more than just that. This is way more than just that, and it's very evident by being behind the wheel, the performance aspects, the driver's experience. This thing is good. Yeah, it's very, very good. 100%. The part that I really, and I'm thinking about it right now because I'm driving. This is what this feel that I'm getting right now. It feels like the BMW normally. This is that sporty feel. I'm feeling a little bit of the road. It got a little bounce.
And you're in sport.
And I'm in sport. And we also lowered the car. So we're at the lowest ride height. That gives it this ride. We can always change this suspension.
It's all very interchangeable.
Look, it changed instantly. It feels softer that quickly.
God, yeah. Yep, right away. I think we turned the music on. I know that from the. That's another Chrysler borrow.
Yeah, I didn't.
The steering wheel, the volume.
Oh, it's right there.
I like it. And what do you think about the fixed column paddles, the metal paddles?
I actually like those. These things feel good. They feel like money. Yeah. As opposed to those plastic paddles as in most cars. Yeah. These feel really, really good, man. They feel like it wasn't an afterthought. It doesn't feel like something that. It doesn't feel like something like it. Like, okay, so we got to add paddles. Let's just grab those and put them in there. No. Somebody took the time to put these paddles where you can feel this metal
fixed in the column.
Yes, in the column.
And I might be in a minority group here, but in the way of thinking, but this is my thought process behind paddles on the column, because it's hotly debated whether paddles should be on the column or they should be on the steering wheel. Yeah. My Quattroporte GTS had the biggest shift paddles I have ever seen. Really? Right? You remember that, right?
I do remember.
They're huge. Yeah. They're like half the size of the steering wheel.
Yes.
And that is the rule for me. If the steering wheel is going to have the paddles, fine. But if they're going to be on the column, they need to be big, massive. Yes, and these are a good size.
Yeah, these are a good size. Really I can hit this in turning with my pinky, or I can hit it at the bottom of the turn with my index finger. Right. They're decent size. I think they could be bigger. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Before we go any further than that, do you want to get gas before we get back?
We do. And I was going to tell you that we're going to go to Casey's. So after this light, we're going to turn right. But yeah, maybe we'll reconvene at the studio.
Sound like a plan.
Back to the studio.
We have made it back. Impressive. Very impressive. This is not one that, in my opinion, you should sleep on, right? Some interesting points made from my brother though, right? When you think about, when you're looking at this car and you're looking at, or you compare it to its competitors, most people probably not going to choose this.
Yeah, and I think it's because there's such a saturated market, and there's like the whole point of a car like this is excess, and this car does it so well. The sound, the noise, it's got this, in my opinion, probably the best logo of any car company in the game. I think it's one of the coolest logos.
I would say yes, because well, I have Zeus, I have Pegasus. Oh, you know, the Trident comes from.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, they're very tied into their mythology with and the names. And I love this car so much, but not for its original price. For the price that it is now, it is absolutely a steal. That's my honest opinion.
I would agree. I would agree.
So this is
especially for what you're getting.
Yes, I think it's
what you're getting.
Totally the package.
Absolutely.
And so just a quick rundown of stats. This is a one owner, clean Carfax, 21,000 mile GTS, and I'm pretty sure base price was around 160 for this car. Or
probably.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood.
That's about right.
This is now $51,800. That's like, and to me, that's so worth it, right? Would I have bought my Quattroporte GTS for 140,000 in 2009? No, well, because also I was like 10 years old or something. I can't do math. Like, it's like 12, 13. But yeah, honestly, I just think that the company is consistently positioning themselves higher than what they're able to generate. And for what you're buying into now, absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
But it comes into that question, right? For $150 grand,
what are you getting?
It's probably going to start with a B and end with an MW. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
like,
man.
That's probably where it's going to go.
And that's part of the challenge with these vehicles.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about what you're getting for your dollar, and also when you purchase, right? So I'm not a big fan of buying brand new cars. That's just me. I think that I love the fact that there's somebody that could come before me and take most of that, I hate to say value, but the expense off that car before me.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
To get something like this, you know that, and honestly, I believe there is absolutely 160K worth of technology in this car, under the hood and the interior, the seats, the wheel, the 21-inch wheels, the look, the styling, it's there.
I mean, this corner right here is like,
it's absolutely there.
It looks so good. It looks great.
It is absolutely there.
I don't think you can say that about the Grecale.
No, you can't.
I saw one in yellow and I thought it looked like a Doge.
Yeah,
you know
can.
Like a Doge dog.
Yes.
Like it looks like it has no chin. And I don't know why they do that. Like the early Quattroportes too, they had no chin, and then they gave it a chin. And then no one bought it.
Nobody bought it.
Because
they gave
it
what it needed to finish it up.
And I don't know. And they should have never gotten rid of this for the Grecale. I think that was a major mistake. They should have never. They were trying to consolidate costs with that new V6, the Nettuno V6. Incredible engine.
Yeah, great motor.
Nothing but great things about it. But it was a mistake to put, like, this company does stuff they do it, they start too high and then they deliver too late.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the thing.
Yeah.
Because this honestly was so impressive for me that it just kind of felt like, you know, they should have never, ever went to the Grecale.
Agreed. I agree. I think that this, for the market that it fills, the space that it was supposed to fill within the market, it's still, in my opinion, it came at the right time when SUVs were still at the top of the heat. This is a 19. SUVs were still at the top of the heat, right?
Yep, they still are. I mean, they're everything. They're everything
right now. And one of the big statements that I make, especially with Pegasus, if you had to have one car that's going to give you everything you need, this thing has a look, stance, the whole nine. We were able to sit it down on the ground, lower, and give an entirely different experience of a car, raise it up, soften the suspension, and give it an entirely another different experience of the car. You can close the baffles, make it quiet and docile, classic soccer mom grocery getter. Open those baffles up, put it in sport mode, lower it to the ground. It's an entirely different vehicle, right? So is it a great one-stop shop vehicle? Yeah, I think so.
I think for the money, it's probably the most unique performance SUV out there right now.
I would agree.
For just the package, and I'm stunned that this is a $51,000 car now. And this one is a great one because of the way it's spec'd, its options. It's got Bowers and Wilkins sound system. It's got the contrast stitching interior. It's got
big roof, panoramic roof.
It's got everything. It's got the optional 21-inch wheels. It's got and to me, most importantly, it's got that 3D carbon, which looks amazing.
That carbon looks amazing.
So cool.
Honestly, I wish I could have that in a car.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's
I
so
think
unique.
that carbon is unique.
And man, I got to tell you, for 51 grand, this is not an average SUV.
I would say not, man. This is not your average SUV, guys. First person I came to mind when I saw this was Show. I think you need to come check this one out. It falls within your budget. I don't know if it's going to meet your satisfaction from a luxury perspective because you're unique, and I get it, but it's very luxurious on the inside. The ride is amazing. The look and styling is through the roof. Nah, bro, this is not your average SUV, not by any means. Be honest with you, man. Come in, man. Y'all, listen, man. Illinois Motors. I told you, if you're looking for something and you can't find it here, you're not looking. You're not looking for a car. Illinois Motors, man, they don't do the normal stuff around here. No, man. Just like you. Designed from greatness. And guys, because we're designed from greatness, you have the right, the responsibility, and the authority to never be average. So guys, don't be average.